So they can call you all names, they can throw all types of insult, they can try to delay you. It's okay, as long as you have an appointment with the future. You don't care what happens, you don't care who says what. You have to make it to the appointment with the future, and that's where we're going.
That is actually so profound. As long as you have an appointment with the
Yes.
future, it doesn't matter what anyone else is saying to you.
No, not at all.
When we look at the political landscape in South Africa, it's impossible to ignore the immense influence and legacy of President Jacob Zuma. Yet, there are those who continue to question why he didn't align with the EFF or join forces with Julius Malema. But the real question is, why would he? Many point to the age difference, with Julius Malema being half the age of President Jacob Zuma, but they fail to realize that Zuma's political experience far outweigh anything Malema or the EFF have achieved. It's not just about years in politics. Zuma's leadership, governance, and revolutionary wisdom are unparalleled. While the EFF touts its 11 years of experience, it's a fraction compared to the wealth of knowledge Zuma holds. President Jacob Zuma's journey started long before Malema even entered the political scene. His legacy is built on decades of dedication to the liberation struggle, and his influence in governance and charismatic leadership remained unmatched. Remember the Zuma Must Fall campaign? To bring him down, the opposition had to align with the DA and numerous other organizations, many of whom represent the same establishment Zuma has always fought against. They couldn't beat him on their own, so they needed outside forces to weaken his impact. Now, let's look at the MKP. Just 6 months old, but already polling higher than the EFF. And no, MK is not eating into the EFF's base. Many South Africans have never seen the EFF as a true solution. Malema himself has even stated that the EFF exists not to fully liberate black people, but to make them feel accommodated, to create an illusion of progress rather than actual liberation.
The white people have benefited, my man. You must never run away from that.
I'm not disagreeing.
And when we talk liberation, it's liberation of black people in general and Africans in particular. And those people must feel that somebody is fighting for them. I think you're calling for disaster. The day
You're calling for disaster, Julius.
let me tell you, you'll have an unled revolution. Unled revolution is anarchy. Once this marginalized, once these people who are oppressed don't feel represented, they are going to come for me and you. Especially ourselves who stay in the suburbs.
You're right.
So somebody must make them feel accommodated. Somebody must be seen to be fighting for them, so that they don't stand up on their own unled and then create anarchy. So the EFF closes that gap and says to them, don't be that angry, we're attending to your issues.
Malema's quick endorsement of the 2024 elections as free and fair, despite clear evidence of technological tampering to favor the GNU, shows just how far he is willing to go to protect the interest of white monopoly capital. He found it more palatable to accept rigged results than to challenge the system alongside MK, a movement dedicated to real freedom and empowerment. MK is not in parliament to simply fit in. They are there to mobilize. Look at how Brian Molefe speaks with clarity and detail about Transnet spending patterns. This is mobilization, not conformity. MK is here to challenge, to engage, and to fight for real change, not just rubber stamp decision or give the illusion of power.
Let us deal with this now properly. We are complaining. Here are parties, the majority of the parties. Many things have gone wrong. Let us allow us to deal with the institution until we are happy. There is no rush. There's nobody who's going to die if we did not announce the results tomorrow. What are we rushing?
The economic freedom fighters welcomes the outcome of the 2024 general election and believe that to a greater extent they represent the will of the people. We, however, note the discrepancies, unprofessional conduct, dysfunctional occurrences, and inconsistent results capturing that have been brought to our attention from different parts of South Africa. We take this opportunity to thank all EFF ground forces for a job well done. We particularly thank our Youth and Student Mobilization Committee, which sprang into action as Mulungisi Madonsela Battalion and brought the necessary energy and dynamism into our election campaign and programs. The impact of the youth was felt in the 2024 election, and we commend the battalion for a job well done. The 2024 elections were not easy for the EFF, which was fighting not only against the ruling party, but against many puppets of the white racial capitalist establishment existing as political parties and in different media platforms. The 2024 elections were not easy because whatever effort and resources dedicated in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, parts of Gauteng and Mpumalanga were undermined by the commendable and decisive rise of Mkhonto We Sizwe, which performed above the EFF in KZN and Mpumalanga.
MK has built a solid team, combining youth and experience, wise counsel and informed ambition. Their mission is clear: liberating black people from the systems that continue to oppress them. They are not here to make people feel comfortable. They are here to make sure the marginalized are truly empowered and free. President Jacob Zuma says, "Our journey is not about personal gain. It's about ensuring that every South African, especially the black community, receive the dignity and opportunities they deserve."
What President Zuma is doing with Mkhonto We Sizwe Party is what the statement of Mkhonto We Sizwe did in 1961 on the 16th of December, to say that now that the liberation movement has been banned, what other platform do we express ourselves? What other instrument do we use to fight for total liberation? There is absolutely no doubt that the liberation movement is no longer existing in the form that it's supposed to do. It has been captured totally. It is directed from elsewhere. And then this is a platform. And what is unique about Mkhonto We Sizwe Party, and it's a purposeful, foundational approach and principle, is to assemble people who can govern society to come and govern society in South Africa. It's not wishful thinking to say that we've got these ideas of what we're going to do. Is to assemble the best of the best. So if you were to check even with the people that have been identified now, the first consignment that is going to the National Assembly, if you go to check their track record objectively and not bled by these nonsense of right-wing media platforms, you will accept that the contributions that Brian Molefe did in the public investment corporations, in Transnet, in Eskom, you will appreciate the contributions that Esiabonga Gama did and contributed in Transnet, stable organizations. Whatever can be said, even with the former SARS commissioner, there have been a lot of things which were misled about for a very long time, that everyone else who is not a puppet of the establishment is enemy of the people. That is not the case. And people will think that I'm saying this because I'm on this platform now only. You can check the public statements and writings and articles and even interviews that we did when we came to the realization that for a very long time we misled in terms of our characterization of society. They said there's capture because they were no longer in control of key state institutions. The white capitalist establishment was no longer in control, and then they said there's a crisis. if there was truly a crisis, why is that crisis not there now? Like, can they show us the crisis which they said existed before? So to assemble the best of the best amongst black people to govern society is a best decision. And to associate with that is a best and sound decision. People who can govern, like it's as simple as that. Like, if you say that who amongst ourselves is the best, and then you say, let's assemble those who can demonstrate that they have got capacity to run otherwise very complex and huge institutions, who are not going to collaborate with the establishment and switch on electricity on and off and say it's load shedding because there's a crisis of this and that. People who are genuine and real and have never done anything wrong, and of course will be criminalized for one reason or another. I agree that we should unite all the progressive forces into common agenda, because this thing of small unviable political parties is not sustainable for the future of black people in South Africa.
The MK Party is the future. They are not here to cater to anyone's interests, but the people's. And as more South Africans wake up to the truth, they will see that the MK's vision is the only path to true liberation. Like, share and subscribe to Inkari. It's time to stay informed on how the MK Party is shaping the future of South Africa. The fight for liberation continues, and it's only just beginning. Thanks for watching and take care.
And they want to present an alternative because the ANC has sold out the working class and the poor masses of our people, because they got co-opted by white monopoly capital and then gave them business opportunities, and as a result they committed a class suicide. So we are trying to, because the issues we are raising, those are the issues the ANC raised from its inception. In 1912, the ANC was formed because of the land question, following the wars of dispossession.